common question asked by my confirmands, and our present class is no different, is why do I have to go through confirmation and join the church? Good question. My answers may seem pat, but I always say the same thing. Why would you want to go through this alone? Seriously, why? Sometimes I think we forget that being saved by Jesus, to follow Jesus, means that you have others around you to save you on a daily basis. To remind you of who you are and who you are called to be, to see you and to appreciate you and celebrate you. To tell you how far you've come and where God still needs you to go, to come alongside you so that you can realize you are not alone. When Jesus calls the disciples in the Gospel of Mark, notice what's absent. Individualism. No being left on your own, no pulling yourself up by your own bootstraps. No, you can handle this, so buck up, buttercup. No, follow me, and good luck with that. Rather, follow me, and I will make you fish for people. That is, follow me, and more followers are to come. Follow me, and you will not be by yourself. Notice Jesus calls them together, not separately. Andrew and Simon, James and John. Discipleship is not an autonomous profession. God knows, Jesus knows, we cannot do discipleship on our own. We cannot do life on our own. We cannot live into our vocations, our truth, on our own. We cannot follow Jesus on our own. We need each other. I need you, you need me, and you need the persons sitting next to you in the pews. We need advocates and mentors. We need peers and colleagues. We need friends and neighbors. We need community and camaraderie. We need others to take risks, knowing that we will take the next one and vice versa. We need others to wear black, so that we know we are seen and heard and known. We need to tell our #MeToo stories, our white privilege admissions, our homeless aversion confessions, so that others can tell theirs and we can work together on overcoming these societal evils. We need each other to be able to name deference to a person in power whose character is antithetical to the gospel. We need each other. One is not enough. That's what I hear in the calling of the disciples this time around. Now more than ever, we need to support, sustain, and stand up and against what is less than what we as Christians have been called to stand for. A group of about 20 of us from this church marched yesterday in the Women's March 2.0. Women, of course, but men and youth and children, all from this church came together. And it was inspiring and community building for Reno and for First Congregational Church to see all those masses gathered for good and to stand together and say no. After that, about 12 to 15 of us gathered in the CE building to make sandwiches and pack lunches for 250 of our homeless folks in Reno. Following that, about 10 of us went down to Record Street by the shelters and handed out the toiletries that we'd been collecting for the last month, and handing out those 250 lunches. Now, my presence would have garnered no media support, inspired no one, if it was me alone. One single woman, one small voice, marching against all that is not right with the world. One person trying to solve some really big problems. But friends, if you put we snowflakes together, you have a blizzard at best and an avalanche at worst. Only together can we overcome climate change. Only together can we effectively stand against those who caused the hashtag #MeToo movement. Only together can we cure the ill of homelessness in Reno. And only together can we make that difference. Jesus knew this as he called his disciples 2 by 2. God knew this as 3 in 1 God, Creator, Christ, and Spirit, working together in collaboration and symbiosis. Now, I don't know about you, but it's easy to feel alone these days, trying to speak the truth of the gospel when the gospel's been misrepresented and misinterpreted, trying to speak the expansiveness of God's kingdom and love when time's up for Salvadorians. Trying to speak the love of God when leaders denigrate entire countries using expletives. Trying to speak that fishing for people is not for them to avoid condemnation, but for the sake of partnership and the diverse community that God imagines. I ache for companionship in this whole fight. I long for conversation partners with whom to talk about what's going on in this crazy world and challenge me when I'm dogmatic and closed-minded. And so I'm grateful for you who keep my feet on the ground and who keep me accountable. And so follow me is much more than mere following. Follow me is believing that we follow a God dedicated to discipleship that depends on dependability and mutuality. It's believing that we follow a God who cannot not invest in a relationship with us and how to nurture and encourage and empower our relationship with others. It's believing that our God, who calls us into this calling, provides us with very many to accompany us in that calling. Do you see them? Who are your Andrews and Simons, your Mary Magdalens, your mothers of James? Follow me, says Jesus, and you can. Others can. How? Because there are others there with us, and we are not alone. No, friends, one is not enough. Amen.